And we are here with a new episode. What is up, everyone? You're listening to, the Forest Kids podcast, as you probably know because you clicked or searched this up to play it. We're here with my friend Abigaze Sinpole, who's an amazing painter.
Hello.
And we're just gonna fucking shoot the shit about some stuff, and I want to hear about her art processes and stuff because we've never really had an art person on the show. It's always been music, and I'm kind of interested in hearing all about the social media side of it, the marketing side of it.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, just because it's a whole different beast being an artist today.
It really is.
Quote unquote artist,
Yeah, I like just the fact that your online presence is so important because that's the only I feel like that's the only way people can see my art now, as post COVID or during COVID, whatever you want to call this time. I used to be able to go out to art shows when my friends would play music. Back in the day, there would be a house show, someone would be playing in the basement, and then they'd have art up for sale during the shows. It was a great way for me to get stuff out, and a lot of people bought my paintings then. It was really exciting and inspiring.
What year was that when you started doing stuff like that?
Probably 2018, 2019. Nice. I mean, when I was here in Philly. And that was really cool. But then, the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden it's just how do I get anybody to see what I'm creating? And if my goal is to not so much make a profit, but distribute my art places, how, I don't know, if no one's out there to buy it because they don't see me in person, how am I even going to do this? It's really crazy. So all of a sudden, social media and online presence is heightened, and then there's the NFTs and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I did see you made a post of doing NFTs.
Yeah, I've sold 2 NFTs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I have no idea what it even means.
I don't even know what that means either, but so you make crypto from that.
Yeah,
right?
I make crypto. They pay in.
Ethereum,
I use Ethereum. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But I also have other crypto investments, but that's purely a personal investment. But yeah.
Yeah, I had a whole fucking moment where I was really into crypto, and I kind of I think I just fucked it all up because I don't know there was a moment for Doge. I should have cashed out.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Everyone in Doge should have cashed out.
And I definitely didn't. And I have a lot of money in Doge still.
It might go back up. You never know. You just got to hold on.
Isn't that the thing? Hold on.
Yeah,
keep
just
holding.
Hold.
I'm holding to the moon.
Yep, just to the moon. I mean, I don't really know much about cryptocurrency. What I do know is really from my brother, shout out Aaron. He's my crypto guru, and I literally I'm what should I do? And he just says hold all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just okay, aye, Captain.
That's how I feel I feel like if anything becomes as big as Bitcoin, then you win.
Yeah.
It's if you have any bit of money.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the game at this point. It's can I be smart enough to buy into the next big thing?
Yeah.
And but that's there's I don't even know. So I make NFTs, and that's a way for me to get my foot in the door in this digital world. And sometimes I hear people talk about it and it's this huge, it's going to change the world. It's going to solve the world. But I don't know. On the other hand,
use OpenSea for the NFTs,
I do
right?
use OpenSea.
That might be the only place where you can.
No,
do
there's
that
all kinds of different portfolio platforms. There's Super Rare. There's a couple more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
So you had to do. We're gonna get super fucking technical for OpenSea for 5 seconds.
Let's do it.
You had to do 2 purchases to sell shit, right, or something like that.
So you make your profile, and then you mint, quote unquote, mint your pieces. I don't really know what that means, but you got to do it. So you need you need money to mint these things. So, you put in however much money into Ethereum or whatever crypto you want to use to fuel your your art, and it takes X amount of Ethereum points to mint these. And
like
list them for sale.
Oh, so you pay to list them?
Yeah.
And like the more you put in, the better it gets listed, or the more
it's like a set price. It's like a set price.
Oh, it's a set price for things.
I think it's a set price, and then you just list it for sale, but you list it in Ethereum. So like most of my stuff is like 0.09, and
like you do the conversion for what you would normally charge. And it ends up being
like $250 some or something like that. But the thing for me that I'm confused on is like, okay, so this is like a one of a kind that I listed for sale on OpenSea, but like one of a kind meaning what? Because it's digital. Like I still have the original in my Procreate gallery, like then I can edit it, and I could make something like totally new with like a couple strokes of my brush.
And that's what people do. I've seen like sprites or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a million color variations of that sprite.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. So it's really kind of confusing, and then there's other sites that there's not just OpenSea. There's, the only one I can think of right now is like Super Rare, but there's a whole bunch of them.
I can imagine, yeah.
And like, can I list it on that site? Who's going to hold me accountable? And apparently, like the blockchain holds that cell block accountable. But I don't really know how that works. Like I don't know who's like checking. And can I sell this as like a physical print at the same time?
So I think what I remember from NFTs was like it's like this hearsay type copy of it. It's like I own this digital copy. Like I own I have the whatever to this.
Yeah.
And
no one else has it, but who knows who else has it.
Just because you have the actual NFT, it's like I think like it's more of like an online trophy type thing.
I guess. If anyone out there is really if it knows any of the answers to this, let us know.
Yeah,
please.
We'll be
because I'm just putting stuff out into the world.
Yeah,
I have no idea how it works.
It's like biting though is fucking great though. Are you doing like full paintings?
Yeah, I just do the full. So a lot of my digital art that I upload onto like my Instagram, because that's my main portfolio, is just Instagram. Try to keep it simple. Most of the digital art that I upload there, I list for sale as an NFT. And they're, unless it's like a paid commission. Or like an album cover or something like that. I don't typically list those for sale just because someone else has that original copy as well and posted it on their album cover.
And
so
then that's its own whole fucking conversation.
That's a whole, because I know music has NFTs too, but we don't need to make this whatever.
I don't even know about, like, that's crazy. What band did that first? What was it, like Radiohead or some shit?
I don't know.
Probably
I was
Radiohead.
hearing some Basshead kids talk about some music NFTs, and I was like, I don't know.
I'm sure there's a bunch of electronic underground motherfuckers. Like if you can figure out a modular synth, you can figure out NFTs.
Right? Maybe. I don't know.
I
confusing.
can't fucking figure out NFTs. I tried to sell like bits to some of the Lazuli album covers because I have like some real, like all these weird elements that sit cool on just like white. It's just like this like polygon shape I did in Procreate or whatever. And I'm just like, that people can get the logo from that album that isn't even out yet. And I had no fucking clue how to actually put it out. But like I wanted to do stuff like that.
I can show you when we're done.
Okay,
you just like make a profile and
I like have a profile, but like I didn't get past the point where I could put shit up. It's like you gotta buy fuel or whatever.
You have to get your Coinbase wallet, and then it's like a really weird like app that you have to go through, and then you hit the internet through the app. And
like your wallet connect and stuff like that. Oh,
it's like God. It's a thing, but we can do it later if you want.
I hope we
one day.
We started the podcast great with this crypto talk because everyone's either going to be like, nah, for me, or like they're going to be so pissed off on how wrong we are about everything we're fucking talking about. I can't believe this.
I'm just trying to make some
coming at people's ears,
some crypto money, and like I don't know, see if I can like be the next billionaire. I mean, magically.
That's all we are trying to be,
I'm just trying to be a billionaire so I don't have to work anymore.
I'm always saying like, yo, where's those rich people that's like, I'll pay $2 million for this gradient.
They're out there.
I know.
They're out there and people are buying them. So like, why not? Like, that's kind of like my idea. Is like, I don't really know how this works, but there's people out there with big money that just like want to buy stuff.
That's kind of, it's just, that's a big theme of today of like, if it's there, it will be eaten up. In a sense, like not to be like, if you build it, people will come, but real shit.
Yeah.
In a sense, like that is it, because it's like, just look at like today, people eating fruit is back or whatever. We're posting on socials again, and we were singing about content, and that was like the joke of just like, here's anything, blah blah blah, just shouting at the void. And people turn heads.
Yeah.
You get, like, I posted a video of that right there. My dog asleep, and
she's really cute. Though.
She's super cute.
She's really cute.
And I turned around, and I was just like, monetize.
Yeah.
And fucking threw a sleep track on the video. Boom.
There
and that's
go.
got a bunch of likes. Then a video that like I cared about and
right?
put together of like, hey, I'm making this. What's up, everyone?
It's really crazy, and that brings it back to Instagram and social media and how like, you know, what we were talking about earlier, like I just, you know, the algorithm is a thing. And if you just post content, just anything, like it's crazy. Like more people see it, more people like it. And it like fuels that little like jet stream in our brain that needs little red hearts and extra views.
Yeah.
Which like I needed too. Like this is like, I'm not talking down on it. Like I mean, it makes me feel good.
I feel like if you create content, you're in that fucking circle no matter what. Like no matter what. Like you can't say you're not.
You can't say you're not. You're lying.
It's like, I don't care about music. Then delete the music Instagram you have for your music. Dude, stop trying then. Or whatever.
I guess that goes into like, do you make art or music or anything for people to like, for yourself, or do you want other people to hear it and so, or see it? And so that's like, I don't know. I really like teeter back and forth between that. Sometimes I just feel like art can be a big chore, and making constant content is really difficult. And it, like for me, as soon as I get a commission, my motivation to make art goes down. I don't know why.
Really?
It's really crazy. I just I have a commission I'm working on now for someone, great guy, old friend of mine. It's like halfway done, and then I hit this like weird mental roadblock where I'm just like, man, like I'm just creating for money. Like I don't even know if I want to do this. Not that his idea or the art or anything like that is bad, but it's just like, oh, like why do I have to do this for money? And why do I have to do this at the end of the day after I've worked on my feet for 8 hours already? Like, but this is like, this hustle game is the only way for me to potentially reach my dream of not having to work 8 hours a day on my feet and just make art. But like, do I actually want, like, you know, but I can't even find the motivation for the art that I have. It's crazy.
Totally feel that 1,000,000%. And then you're having exhausting conversations with yourself of, but this is what you like to do. It's like, but I'm tired. It's like, well, this is your passion. It's like, well, then I guess this isn't your passion. Like,
yeah.
Just like you have all this like shitty talk in your head.
It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, art and social media and music and like I'm sure and social media just like they don't really mix. It helps, but like at the same time it like I don't know. It's like this vicious circle that I feel stuck in, but I don't know how to change it because it's 2021 and this is how the world works.
Yeah, I think there's so much to dive in there real quick. Mia, go lay down, please. Go lay down, please. Thanks for listening, everyone. Anyway, like I totally feel that whole, like when you're doing a commissioned work or something where you're like, this is gonna make me some bucks.
Yeah.
It's like, I totally feel the same way of like motivation going down. Cause like recently I've been trying to write these like like lo-fi music. Like I've been writing lo-fi for like a year and some change now. Like actually doing lo-fi, I've attempted it several times before that and just didn't understand how to make those fucking sounds.
They make it look so easy.
Yeah, and now I got to this point. I'm like, oh, it is that easy. I just was doing the wrong stuff. But so I love doing it, and I found this great curator, Colors in the Dark, great label, and like I was on their one compilation back in January, and that's like 500,000 fucking streams.
Right.
And I'm like, yeehaw,
yeah,
let's do it again.
Yeah.
And I've sent him maybe 12 songs, 24 songs, and he's like, this doesn't fit the vibe. This isn't it. This isn't it again.
No.
And so like, I'm just at this point, like I'll like sit down and be like, okay, let me try to write something to get back there. And then like, it's just so forced. It's not fun. Yeah. And then I'm just gray the rest of the day, especially because it's like sleepy, lo-fi, emotional music.
Right.
So you're like, all right, I have to make like heartbreak, everyone like hates me and it's raining outside music. Also, it's cold and dark or whatever.
But I feel like lo-fi could be like subjective. Like, I don't know, when I think of lo-fi, to me, what like I think that sounds so good, but this is typical. Like, I just like fairy dreamy music, and I'm like, no, we're like drifting off to space and like it's peaceful. Like, I don't know, I don't associate lo-fi with sad and heartbreak, but I guess
like at least
now
what they were
what
going
they're looking for. But what I'm saying is
geared that way.
Yeah, it's so subjective though. That's so hard, and you're just like, I don't know if I want to write heartbreak music.
Like I like do, and like, but like when it's like you have to do it,
you have to write.
Like, they have to make it a certain way. If you don't make it a certain way, it's gonna be for nothing, and then you're gonna have another EP sitting on your computer doing nothing, and you have to find another label for it.
Yeah.
Or release it yourself and just be like, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's just okay.
Yeah. I had someone commission me for an album cover, and they are friends of mine, but he was really specific about what he wanted. And it's not like it wasn't bad. It wasn't like what I didn't want or anything, but he like had definite changes to make for me. Like I was just like, I want this way, you know, the lettering this like bigger, like I want this to pop this way. Like he was really specific, more specific than you've ever been, that really anyone's ever been, which like a lot of people just give me creative freedom and are just like, just make something.
I like give like, here's what I like, do something like that.
This,
you know?
he was so specific. And like on one hand, I was kind of like that. I was like, oh, like feeling kind of gray about it. And like, oh, I don't know if I even want to work on this right now. But then at the same time, and I know this in the back of my head, at the same time, I'm like, this is going to make me a better artist. This is going to make me more compatible and more like, you know, making changes will be easy, and like adjusting my style to fit, because that's what I'm doing at the end of the day. I have a client that wants something specific, and it's my job to make it for him. And so like, you know, even though sometimes that's like hum-ho, if I really want this to be my job, like that's what I got to do, is like not do what he asks, but like, you know, do what he asks to the best of my ability, and like work with my client and not be a grumpy gills about it. Like
fucking, if there's one piece of gold Mr. Krabs have ever said, it's the money is always right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? It's not yours. But yeah, like, I'm so with you on that. Like that's honestly a good reason why I like don't like seek freelance work anymore, or like, you know, be like, yo, if you need me to record your next thing or let me mix and master, like I don't fucking say that anymore, because A, I don't have the fucking time, and B, I've just been around so many people where they're like exactly like that, and it's just like so tedious things, and it's like, yes, I get it, this is your record and it needs to sound a certain way, and all this stuff, but I feel like a lot of people like give me the heavy lifting. They'll like record it like shit, or they'll sing it like shit, or whatever, and then it's like, oh, the drums could really pop more. It's like, you mean the fake drums that I fucking crafted and made for your record?
Yeah, absolutely. So like working with a client is like a big, it's not a big thing. It's just different than just like coming up with something in my head and really being like, wow, I love this vision, and just like moving forward at my own pace, even like no deadline. Like I can just, if I'm feeling really inspired and want to work on it for 10 hours, which is typically how I work. I like work in very long spurts for like a whole day. I can do that. And then I can take a break for 3 months because who cares?
Wow. A 3 months break. I think I would go fucking crazy.
I don't know. I go so back and forth with it. It's like, I don't know. Mental illness, man. Maybe.
I really think I have ADHD, or so whatever the term is. I always get it wrong.
I don't know.
Because I like tell fucking Katie, like, yeah, well, I was doing, work for the station, and then I was watching a Let's Play when I was doing that, and then, I also decided to do some playlist curations, and I heard the song that, like, I didn't have a playlist for, but I really liked the song, so then I went and made a new playlist just for that song, and I had to make a playlist cover, so I made a playlist cover, and then I got, like, 3 other ideas for good playlists, so I made those covers, too, and I forgot that I was doing composer work, so I went back to the station work, and she's like, are you fucking okay?
Right? Like...
And I'm just like, what? That was a half hour.
That was just an hour of my time. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm having a great time. What's wrong? As I'm shaking.
No, I like go opposite, where I like get like super hyper focused, and I'm just like, must work on this until it's done 100%. Like just put all 10 hours in right now. And I don't know. I've always been like that. Even in high school and art classes, I remember multiple things like doing them the night before, and it's like an oil painting that takes 3 weeks to dry, and I'm like carrying it through school.
Like sliding off the page.
That's happened. It's gotten on someone's pant leg before, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And oh my gosh, it's like stupid stuff like that. But I've always worked that way, and so it doesn't really work for a lot of clients though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like try to make art for me now and list it as for sale as an NFT, and like, I don't know. I'd rather people just I don't know.
I feel like how you were doing, and like how like kind of I was doing, like just making art for yourself, and then have it be like a gallery. Be like,
yeah,
you want to use that or buy it? It's up for sale.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing recently, just because I just like don't have it in me between work and that. Well, I'm not going to say work and that. I'm going to say work and like a social life. And then all of a sudden my family is really important to me. So, and like my family, it's just, I just don't have time. Oh, it sounds so shitty, but like I just don't have time to make art at the end of the day. Like I take my dog for a walk after work. I make dinner, and then all of a sudden it's 8:30 p.m. and I gotta
play a fucking video game.
Yeah,
and have
I just want to like sit down on the couch for an hour before I like go to bed. Yeah. But God forbid I have a friend that wants to hang out, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know, everyone like it's just then I got to go there, and then there's another friend that wants to hang out, and I got to go there, and it's just so much.
Do you feel like isolation helps?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I do. I like during the pandemic, and I didn't have work and a job. I like woke up and made coffee, and I was like, I'm an artist today.
Yeah.
Working 9 to 5.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's like what I did all pandemic long. I just like busted out paintings and did all this stuff, and
you got way more active on social medias and stuff too.
Yeah, I did.
I started noticing like, you're painting videos and seeing that shit on my feed.
Oh, dude, I gotta make painting videos again. Yeah, those are fun. Well, because I've been so into my iPad and like my digital art, so I've like my paintings, like my literal paintings, have gone by the wayside, and
you gotta post the what are they called? The
time lapse. Yeah. People love. I was thinking of adding like time lapses as NFTs because people like watching those more than they like watching like a still painting or like a still, I don't know, whatever. But anyways, I should start painting with a paintbrush again soon, just because it feels good and it's like a different feeling than making a.
And it's there.
It gets to hang on your wall or whomever's wall.
People who are listening, obviously, everyone listening because no one is watching. I keep kind of hinting that there's a video portion, but there's never going to be a video portion.
There's never a video portion.
There are 2 paintings from Abby on the wall. and they're from the Ovilus little record with the 2 songs with I Miss You, and the Kiko Cade record with Leandra Raguska, fucking with the bandoneon and shit, the pretty old blue picture. Like, yeah, I'm hanging on my wall because I'm always like, yeah, I got a painting made. Like, I feel so cool having like a physical of
Copy.
the art.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should always be like your edge for like, oh, you want me to do an album cover? Like,
I can make
you
a
can
canvas.
have it for an
Yeah.
extra XYZ.
You know, that's a pretty good idea. I never really thought about it. I always kind of just like gave it as like, you know, that's the price that it is, you know, however much for me to do a commissioned painting, like without the album cover. So you can do what you want with the painting. Just take it, make it an album cover. I had some art up at Punch Buggy Brewing Company. They made me take it down. Don't go there.
Oh.
They didn't make me take it down. They just like filter out artists. They're very nice. Sorry.
That's how I feel about like certain like playlisters that I like follow.
They take it off and you're like, don't
like,
listen.
fucking dick. And it's like, nah, Dan's a good guy.
No, he was really nice. He was like, typically, like it was hanging there for like 3 months, and they were like, typically we only let artists hang their stuff there for like 1 month. So can you come get your stuff?
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, oh yeah, I'll
were
come
nice
get
about it then.
They were really nice, but I actually 3 paintings sold from that, which was really cool. But one person, they like, it was a band. What are they called? Oh, I wish I could shout them out right now. But they
You
bought.
can check your Instagram if they're on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You can take your time.
I think
It's
it's
not an
called
official
Them
show. You can dick
Jones
around.
is what they're called. But they bought a painting off of the wall at this brewery, and then they messaged me and were like, "Can we make this an album cover?" And I was like, yeah. It is called Them Jones. Them Jones is a band. I've actually not listened to their music, but they are cool.
They're gonna love this. Like, thanks for the shout out.
I haven't listened to it yet, but they use my art, and that's cool. And so it's got to be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I always whenever I get a band that sounds like fucking Breaking Benjamin or some shit sending me a song, because I curate a lot of playlists now. That's a huge chunk of my fucking time. That's
Yeah.
been
You make
taken
playlists
up.
all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it does a lot for the Forest Kids Collective tunes and
Yeah.
whatnot. And I'm finding a bunch of fucking great artists anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But like anytime it's like, I'm like, okay, let's listen to the lyrics, because like 9 times out of 10, it's some like misogynistic or like you can tell they're dropping hints on like people wearing masks, fucking losers or whatever, and you're just like, not gonna add you.
I'm so sorry, but your application has been denied.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I also had like one of my exes send me a song, and I was just like, no.
Absolutely not.
Well, I would have added it if they like grew as an artist from the last time I heard them
Nah.
in high school, but it was literally the same fucking thing, a little better quality.
That was like the same
I'm just
song.
like, yo, I was expecting like a pop banger from you.
It's been a decade.
It's
Get some new
literally
stuff.
been fucking close to a decade, and you're
Oh,
pumping
man.
out this shit
The
still.
same song. That's
and,
like
and you're just promoting it now.
that's like definition of like broken record playing over and over again.
It's a real it was a good feeling and a bad feeling. It was like and then I was also like, come on, you could do better than this.
Oh man, but well, that's just what happens. I don't know. I'm still painting these like flowers. It's like I'm not painting flowers anymore. So
Nice.
get some new material.
No, yeah, I like the signature though. It's
I love
like
my little
a
flowers.
starfish flower.
Yeah, I like them. I liked the pyramid, the one that I did for you, just because it's so different. It's different than anything I've ever done before. I loved painting that one.
Yeah, that one came out super duper cool.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I love the planets mainly because it got that like Did you like have like a cup of like
No.
paint or what and poured it in
So I
there?
originally had the sky. That whole color was the sky,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I did put a cup over top of it
paint
and
the
trace
circle.
the circles. Actually, I think it was my grinder. Now that I'm looking at the size, um, but yeah, I learned that back. I used to do a lot of graffiti paint, like those like cool galaxy graffiti spray paint art that people
whoa.
do. Like in high school, my ex-boyfriend always watched these videos and I was like, I can do that. And so I like tried stuff like that. So that's where I got that idea from. But it was really fun to do. The pyramid was fun. The wizard in the middle.
Yeah.
She's really cool and deep and dark and mysterious.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I think I just noticed the third planet.
There
right
is
now.
a third planet. It's a tiny little planet.
I'm just like looking at it intensely, and just like, wait a fucking second. No,
Yeah.
I've had to have seen that before.
I'm sure you've seen it, but I like doing stuff like that. I like doing the stars in space because I get to splatter paint everywhere. It's fun. It's fun. Oh man, I gotta start painting again. What the heck?
It's gonna be a great visual episode for everyone listening. Oh my god. So yeah, so you did fucking spray paint stuff? Like, so what was your introduction to like, oh, I want to paint not in school or whatever the fuck?
Well, I painted in school a lot. I loved art class. It was fun. But I did I graduated and I was in college, and my friend Weston, he did these stickers. Like he did like sticker slapping a lot, and so he had a tag Mr. Sir, and I loved that tag. I don't even remember what it's from, and he did it all over Jenkintown because that's where he's from, and we met at Millersville because we went to Millersville University together. Anyways, and so he did all these stickers and they were so cool, and I was like, dude, how'd you make these? And he hand drew all of them.
Oh, wow.
And like he had so many, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. So I like got these marker pens and started making stickers with him, and that's where I originally had for a while my my artist was just Cake, K-A-K-E, because people used to call me Abby Cake, so Cake. And that was like my tag for a really long time. I went out and I did like a lot of graffiti with another graffiti artist called She. You can find them on Instagram. They make cool stickers now. And we would go all over Downingtown and stuff like that. It was a really good time. And so then I like graduated from like the postal stickers, which are like, 4x6 or 2x4. I don't even know how big they are.
Like 2x3 or some shit.
Something like that. And so I went from those to just like doing marker drawing. So I have somewhere like way back, I just used markers, just like straight Sharpies. And because they're really like dense, I like Sharpies because they like have a lot of ink in
borders,
there. Yeah. And
they're probably one of the most satisfying things to like do big shit in.
Yeah, big shit. Like you get like watercolor paper because it doesn't bleed as much and it can hold all that ink.
And it's just like slam.
And it's just
black,
really solid. Yeah, I loved it. And so I did that. And then I think I just decided to paint one day. I think I was like, I'm just going to paint. And I just picked up some acrylic paints. I didn't really do acrylic a lot in high school. I did a lot of oil painting in high school. I don't know why, because oil painting's stupid.
Why is this stupid?
Because it takes 3 months to like dry.
Oh yeah, I
it's
guess
so you can make changes. Like it's just a different style. It's not stupid at all. It's just different, and the colors are more muted. A lot of times you do a backwash and you like put all the shadows in, and then you wipe away the paint for the highlights.
I'm so bad with art. So would you say like the classic like William Shakespeare painting, or
those are
like
probably all oil paints.
fucking the Mona Lisa?
I think that's an oil painting too.
Okay.
I think those are all oil paints, but I'm not super great on art history. I dropped out.
I definitely like ask anything that like comes up art wise. I just turn to Katie. I'm just like, what art is this?
What is art?
So like,
Please help.
That's this. They're like, that's a whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So a lot of those, but an oil painting is like. And it made sense because, like, this artist is working on this portrait forever and you don't want the paint to dry. So if you use an oil base, it doesn't dry. It takes a long time. So you can make changes over, like, weeks and, months, really, even if you try to extend it out. But acrylic paint dries in like 20 minutes. So
Acrylic is
these
right?
these are both acrylic, and any painting that I make is usually acrylic. I just don't do oil paintings anymore because the right thing to thin it down is like turpenoid, and that's like gives people cancer. And
Turpentine?
I don't know. Maybe it's something else. It's been a while. It's just like a big mess to me.
What is turpentine?
Turpenoid, maybe it is.
Let's look that up right now.
It's a paint thinner, I thought.
Turpentine. It's a volatile, pungent oil.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
When people inhale it to or forget things.
Yeah, and like it can just like give you brain damage and cancer and stuff. And that's not why I stopped using oil paints, but it just takes long to dry, and I'm trying to bust some paintings out. I got 3 months. So, actually, apparently I do have 3 months the way I work.
And like, do they need to be like in the sun or like in the dark?
I don't remember, to be honest.
That's so weird.
It's been so long since I did one.
Would it be like, I wonder if like there's art style where like they have it tilted so everything looks like droopity, creepy.
They probably do.
Or just like a tiny slant or something.
They probably do.
That's gotta be something.
Yeah, these are all acrylic, and it dries really fast, and yeah, it's a lot brighter and like brighter colors. They pop more, so that's why I use it.
So how do you feel like the physicalness from like using an iPad to like, actually painting, like, does that change your creativity in any way?
It's like learning a new medium, I would say. Like, it was really a learning curve. I thought I was going to get that iPad and be able to like just make stuff and really get it out there.
Layers is fucking, like, using layers is so hard.
It's a new thing. And I think about it differently with a physical painting. I start with the background, all the way back, as far back as I can go, and I work forward. And then the most, the most front things to you, like perception wise or whatever the words are, is closest. And you work on that last. Details last, background first. Mm-hmm. But like, you can do whatever you want on the iPad. You can work in whatever order you want.
And I feel like anything you put on the iPad too is very much right up front.
It's
immediately.
Very
and it
right
takes
up
a
front
lot to push it back.
Yeah, I guess I still kind of work the same. I usually draw a big sketch out first on the iPad, and then I'll do the background. I work about the same, but the big thing for me is remembering to separate my layers. I forget to do that all the time, and it literally takes up so much time to switch it. But now I'm in the zone of like, I need this layer separated, and I can't do what I was gonna originally do, which is really fucking annoying.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am with it.
Yeah.
Maybe like looking to like throwing it in Illustrator secondly or something. I don't fucking know.
I've never used Adobe.
I'm so bad with Adobe too. I can only use Photoshop.
I think I used it in I was a graphic design student for like 2 months in college, and we got to Adobe Illustrator, and I had to make a webbing of something, and I don't know. It was like, and then they have the pad on your table, but you only see it on the screen on the computer, and that really fucks with me. I really love the iPad just because I'm drawing directly on the tablet.
And the fucking Apple Pencil is so
Apple
fucking
Pencil
tight.
is sick. And
the second fucking podcast where we're up talking Apple products. Please sponsor me, Apple.
Yo, sponsor this Apple. We love you. Yeah. I make everything with my iPad now.
Yeah, I'm so terrible at drawing, but I feel like I can at least attempt the things in my head on an iPad, because I don't feel like I'm wasting paper or I'm wasting ink.
And they have you hold the pencil down and you get the straight lines, or you can even do it with a curvy line. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really, really nice. You can put drawing assist on and it'll grid it out for you, and it'll follow. It'll follow the grid lines. If you draw right on the grid lines, it'll follow it. It'll keep it right square with that. It's really, I want to get into the animating part of Procreate. That's something that I've been really paused on, just because it seems like you need to draw each individual frame over and over again.
What? So there's a couple tricks I learned. You should look up some because like I feel like tutorials are a little like boring, and
Yeah.
like here's basic things of like how to animate things, but then like I just watched a video that's like 3 years old or so of like a Game Grumps video, but like Aaron Hansen is Ego Raptor, one of the Game Grumps guys, and he's an amazing animator, amazing dude of doing all that shit. Did it for a bunch of years
Yeah.
before he became like this big Let's Player. And he starts talking about one of his animations, a Polka Awesome. You may have seen it.
Maybe.
Fucking so funny, so great. And he like showed all these like cool ways of how to like get actions in, where it'll be like you want to like just get it like right to where it's going. Like it's here and then it's here and then it's here.
Yeah.
Like you can have like 3 actions where it's like the start and then like 90% of the movement and then the rest of the 100
And then the
way.
resting.
And you can use like liquefy and like
Okay.
other type of bend and warp tools to just have it fucking
What?
move.
I need to watch one of these videos.
And like he just goes over these like little fucking like secrets and like quicks and like shortcuts to animating, just like nothing. It's like, oh, and you can do this, and I did this to make it. Let's try that again. He
Oh,
kind of like
that's
reanimates it in this video.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta link you it. It's
Yeah,
really
send it
cool
to
because
me.
I love his animations. Are always just so like because it'll
Yeah.
be like Pikachu, and then like Pikachu is like a full body buff man. Like,
Yes.
Pikachu,
Yes.
like those quick cuts.
Yeah, just and like they're almost like gifs that like go over. That's what I want to make. I want to make like just like
Oh,
short
yeah,
little,
GIFs.
you know, like those.
I'm about to get
Since
into that.
I make a lot of album art for people, which I love doing. I would love to, like, you know how Spotify has that little video that
canvas?
plays underneath it. I think we've talked about this before. Like I would love to get into making those little movable canvases. You know, it's just like a 3-second loop or a 5-second loop, however long it is. But like they look so cool and they play
Oh my
like
God.
when you play the music and it like sets the tone, and like I just think that that's so cool. I like want to be able to do that. It's such a small little section, but like I don't know, it just seems fucking cool.
It's great, and like all you need is like Ken Burns or some shit to like make
Yeah.
a 2 or 3
Yeah.
frame thing look interesting. It zooms out. It just
Yeah,
zooms
it zooms out,
That's
or
it.
like a single little flower like waves back and forth.
or it
Like
just
that's all it
moves from
needs
one
to
side
be.
of the picture to the other.
It's
you
all
know?
it needs to be. And then one day, Disney Pixar.
Oh. Oh my god!
No fucking.
Have
fun.
you seen Luca?
No, I've been meaning to watch it. You know what? I'm gonna watch it when I get home tonight.
You should, because it's beautiful.
I've watched a couple Disney movies recently. It was like Raya and the Last Dragon.
I didn't see that.
It's on Disney Plus,
Yeah, I've seen
but
the
it still was still pretty good. I was just like, dang, Disney doesn't disappoint. Like sometimes they do, but like
It's just wowza.
their
the
animation really just like blows me away. One that really sticks out to me is the short. I remember seeing Finding Nemo 2, I think it was, in theaters, and there's that little short about it's like a little seabird that
Oh yeah.
goes out and gets all the adult birds are running out to get the little shells and fish when the tide goes out, and he's like just learning how to do it, and it's so cute and it's so adorable, and it's like it's not realistic because it's Pixar.
Mhm.
And you know it's animated, but like the detail on it is just so perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. And to have that to have that is and be able to do that and like execute that and make that little short, let alone a whole feature film, is
Mhm.
amazing to me. Hashtag goals.
Real shit like that, and like, have you seen Soul?
Yeah, Soul was really
that
good.
was breathtaking. Of like, I feel like we've seen all these obvious fantasy scenes in throughout the years of Disney, and like they were taking it easy because they were like, oh, we don't want to get mad. It's like, okay, here's some animals, here's some toys, here's some fish, all the things that don't talk, here's some bugs, and then like, oh, superheroes, whatever, fucking Incredibles, and then feelings, we'll do feelings next.
Yeah,
that's
feelings
a little
works.
touchy, and then
they just went into souls.
fucking death. Let's do death next. Like, wow.
Right?
And then they did like pre-life too.
Yeah.
About like the unborn babies. It was like, what the fuck? This is Pixar?
Right? It was so cool. And like, I just love that it was around like soul music, but then it also like just really captured like the essence of like a person's soul and like someone's like insides and being and what makes us human. Like that's just like really cool. I think I cried.
Oh yeah, I definitely cried.
I think I cried during it, but
and then like I lost my shit when the credits roll at the end. It's like music by Trent Reznor. It's like, are you fucking kidding
for
me?
real?
For real?
No fucking
Trent Reznor did
way.
like the
What?
but then it was John Batiste who did the jazz portion of it. And I fucking worked with John Batiste and like in some
for
fashion,
real?
like I've mastered his music for NPR and stuff.
That's so fucking cool.
Crazy,
Yo,
right?
full circle.
Full fucking. But I almost spit up when I'm like 9 Inch Nails. Fucking
No
crazy.
way, metal as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I was looking for the Pizza Planet truck throughout the whole fucking.
Yes. Oh, dude, I forgot to look for the Pizza Planet truck. Was it there? Did you find it?
It has been there. I just missed it. You know.
Oh, it has to be in
It's
there.
it's always there.
It's always there?
Yeah.
I guess it is.
Like there was like a dumb TikTok where it was like, Disney, you forgot to take out the Pizza Planet truck. Wrong movie.
Wrong movie. Get your shit together.
Yeah, it was just some dumb shit like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Disney's got animation on point. I love that. Yeah.
You play games and video games and stuff,
I do
right?
play video games.
I had this conversation with Katie the other day, and I thought it was pretty interesting because she was saying Xbox is Apple and PlayStation is Android. And I'm like, I can see that for sure in that conversation. But if we're talking video games, I would say Nintendo is Apple.
I would say too. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Because it's closed circuit, right? Like,
yeah, I think Nintendo sticks with Nintendo, and they don't. Well, a lot more crossovers been happening these days. I think that there's a lot of games that like are available for all three.
but you're never
but
gonna
you're not
get a
gonna-
Mario
No,
or Zelda
you're not.
or
You never
Kirby.
will. That's what I was going to say. Nintendo is not going to cross over, but
Yeah.
Nintendo will take on Xbox and PlayStation.
Exactly.
And that's why I have Nintendo.
Mhm. Yeah, me too.
But yeah, video game animation is so fucking cool.
Like, yeah.
And I think it's crazy. I actually just got the new, well, it's not new, it's remastered, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I'm playing right now. And so to see like an older animation on this, I got a new TV. It's like
Oh,
50
shit.
inches, and
Oh,
this like old
beautiful.
animation is like staring me down while I like play video games. I don't know. It's cool. I
That's
love
sick.
it. Like I love a good old Nintendo.
Speaking of TV, real quick, back to like the iPad. Do you ever do like mirror screens?
Yo, I didn't think about that until right now.
Because-
Genius.
Because you could get like a whole different like screen view of what you're writing, and like maybe even like
Yo.
have another second of like or
That's
some
a
shit,
good
you know?
idea. Just because I don't know how my things would translate into like a bigger canvas, especially digitally. Like this guy that I'm doing in commission for right now, he wants posters. Like I'm making him a poster. And the more I work on it, the more I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work as a poster. Like, and like
print wise and just like
dude, that's a whole different ballgame.
screen-wise.
I don't even know like how it's gonna look. I don't even know how big I can make the posters. This is all like stuff I have to do still.
I'm right there with it. Like I just tried to print fucking cassette sleeves, and
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to fucking Staples.
That's what I like asked several people, and they're like, FedEx is your best bet. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like FedEx? Are you sure? Like, are you sure there's no one out there? But I've like thought about buying my own printer, but I just
That's a whole nother investment
yeah, it's like $5,000 or something
for a
stupid
good
like that.
one.
For
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah,
And
because
so,
you could buy a shit one and you just have a printer that's
well,
giving you
and then you just got to
problems.
get the toner.
The toner, the paper,
The
and then
paper,
you're
the
storing
ink.
all that stuff.
Someone was about to give me like a really nice printer, and I was like, wait, hold on. How am I gonna refill the ink? And they're like, oh, that's really hard to come by. I'm like, yeah, then I can't get the printer then if I can't fill the ink up by ordering it on like online, like then I just
we don't want to say Amazon.
We
but
don't
we're
want to say
gonna
Amazon.
We're gonna get it off Amazon.
Dude, you called me out right there.
I was like, wait, like my brain finished the sentence. And I'm
You
like,
called me out so
I know
hard.
what you're trying
I was
to
like,
do.
Online.
Because I'm the same way. I'm like, man, I gotta be buying from, better retailers. And then I just don't. Like an ass.
Well, it's hard. I was just ordering food with my friends last night, and this isn't Amazon, but like we were trying to order online to not use Grubhub because Grubhub takes all the money from the restaurant. And like, the website's crashing. It doesn't like have everything available online. It gets to the card and it's like, open up an account with us. And it's like, bro, like I'm just trying to eat some Thai food. Can you please? And like I was just like, I'm pulling out my Grubhub app. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm just doing this. It's been 2 hours and I cannot wait for Thai food any longer.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. It's shitty. And Amazon's another thing where it's just like, am I gonna like carry cat litter home in my arms, or I'm gonna have it delivered to my door?
You got Chewy. You can do Chewy.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't have my cat litter's not available in Chewy.
Oh well, then there you go. It's like you're fucked everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Like literally, my vet was like, "Oh yeah, you can get the prescription dog food from Amazon." It's like, you guys don't sell it.
Don't sell it here. Like
It's a pretty small vet. I could help you out.
right.
$80 here instead of
Instead of
going to the
whatever there.
fucking orbit.
They're like, no, we have an order on Amazon. We don't need anything. We're vets. We overcharge you anyways.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't mean to call you out.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
My bad.
I'm sure everyone else was thinking it too.
I just fucking bought some shit off there.
I did
like,
too.
literally.
What did I buy? I don't know. I think I bought a plant.
I got a new keyboard, like a type keyboard.
Yeah, well, that's important. I just got
Yeah.
like a plant.
Well, plants are good. I don't want to go to the store. I want to go put a plant in my car.
I could put a plant
Get
in my
the
car.
dirt all over
Someone
my
I know
car.
very recently put a plant in their car, and then the plant tipped over while they were going through an intersection, and they went to grab it, and then they got into a car accident.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a stupid asshole like that. I'm gonna fucking.
I can't
cause a
sacrifice
tragedy.
my car for a plant, but I can sacrifice like another Jeff Bezos moon visit.
Yeah,
I guess.
whatever. If it's just another thing to trend on Twitter.
I don't really know. Well, it's like, I don't know. We don't need to talk about Jeff Bezos. He gets enough press.
I mean, whatever. I mean, if it gets people to click on this, we'll put it in the description.
Hashtag Jeff Bezos.
It's like it's in like every post for some reason. It's like, why do you hashtag Amazon and Apple and Jeff Bezos and Apple Pencil?
We're covering
Only
it
Apple
all.
Pencil. Yeah.
We're covering it all. What were we talking about earlier before we started? Climate. And I was like, I think the world's going to
Oh my
end.
God, yeah.
And you're like, save it for the podcast.
Yeah. I do feel like we're all just in that state of end game, I guess.
No, it's crazy out there.
Which is why it kind of goes back to like the art thing, cuz like I'll be like pondering shit like that. Like, oh my God, like how many years until Philadelphia's underwater? And it's like I can keep smoking or whatever.
I can keep smoking.
I can have another beer, that's fine. But then like I'll also be like try to like make art, and then there's just like that one small echoing voice that's just like, it doesn't matter, we're all gonna be underwater.
Right.
And it's just like, no, shush. I just want to
Yeah.
finish this beat.
I just want to finish this.
I just need to put reverb on this synth and we're done.
We're done. I smoked, and then I went for a walk, and it was during those really hazy days because of the forest fires over in Oregon. I straight had a panic attack. I was just like, can I breathe? Can my dog breathe? Like, I still got to go home and do stuff. And like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to chill and going for a walk, but like the world's ending and I can see the sun and stare at it. And
Yeah.
like, should I draw a picture or should I like, I don't know, do something about it? But that's the thing, is I feel really hopeless about, like helpless, not hopeless, helpless about that. Like, I don't really know what I can do. And I guess all these people are like, stop buying Amazon. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what we can do.
It's like, do we scrape every second because there's so many. This is a huge. We got deep territory.
Yeah, yeah, we did.
Like, because there's a few ways. Like, I feel like looking at it. You know, it's like we can, scrape every second and try by recycling and telling every single person to XYZ to reduce their carbon footprint and like dedicate all of your time to like fixing it or like talking to government people, or you could like enjoy the last 15 you got left and just fucking go to work, come home, and
I guess
put on the TV, watch Below Deck.
Right? I get a little confused between like, okay, so like major corporations cost 70% of global emissions, and then on the other hand, I have friends that are like, if you're not vegan, you're killing the world, and I'm just like, isn't there like a happy medium? Like,
I feel like it's what we're talking about right here. It's like to know, like, yeah, like maybe I should reduce in some ways, but I'm not gonna reduce my happiness by like not ever eating a fucking cheeseburger again. Or
I lost so much weight. I had COVID, and then I was vegetarian, and I had COVID, and I lost all my taste and smell, and then all of a sudden, like, I was only eating French fries and potato chips because that's like the only thing. Like vegetables tasted really, really bad. Like, I love vegetables, and it's back to normal now. But like for a while, like I just couldn't eat vegetables, and I was like, I need to eat chicken. Like, I need protein. I need something other than French fries, because I was just skin and bones and living off of French fries, and like my body was like freaking out, and I just like needed to get some protein in me. And then, my smell started coming back, and I could probably go back to being a vegetarian, but I enjoy chicken nuggets, man. Like, they're freaking good. And I get to go to a restaurant and not like have to be picky about the menu. And
I feel like that is the biggest thing when it comes to veganism and vegetarianism, or it's just like, you suck at restaurants forever.
Yeah, you suck at restaurants, but I just like don't even think being a vegetarian, I wasn't even really consuming a lot of vegetables or fruits or like being nutritious about it. Like, okay.
And that's the shitty part that I find a lot in like people that are like, I'm vegetarian because I don't want to contribute to global warming or like eat living things. It's like, I understand where you're coming from, but you have to fulfill the others, what you're missing. You have to eat a fucking bushel of broccoli a day.
You do. You have to eat so freaking much. And I hate cooking, and I just like was all sick and just not feeling that great. And so I was just like, fuck this. I'm eating chicken wings. I don't care. I did have celery with my chicken wings.
Wonderful.
So that's the vegetable.
There you go.
But like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, it's like this, like just this constant like pull between like, it's the corporations and it's like
individuals.
Yeah, individuals. And I just like, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not. And it's really confusing. And I'm just going to paint pictures about fairies and unicorns in the meantime, because that's like all I have.
I feel like if you have the right mentality and like we're not living in excess, like we're not buying bottles of, the cases and cases of like bottled water and shit. Yeah. We're not like, just hanging out in our cars that are on, or whatever the fuck you want to say about car emission. Like at this point, like it's really it's mainly fishing. It's mainly fishing, killing everything. It's fishing and cows farting and all
cows
that shit.
Farting, man.
Cows existing. Like, cause it's, and then like the use of water is crazy for a fucking cheeseburger. It's like 400 fucking gallons or something.
Yeah, the way we go through water is real crazy. I think about it a lot when I water my plants, and I'm like, well,
Yeah, I think about that like every time. I don't think I can take long showers anymore, because in the back of my head I'm just like, look at all this water just pouring down. Like literally just turn on a faucet and it goes directly down the drain.
But
it's
do you
just
think
like
that's social
waste.
media like showing us somewhere, like some country somewhere else that doesn't have as much water, and we're like only aware of that now because like we see it because we have this like connection to the other side of the world somehow magically through the internet?
Honestly, a lot of that's bullshit nowadays.
True.
There's I've been like 4 years ago or so when I was still getting dragged to my parents' church. I think it was like even before Temple. they had like a huge campaign for wells in Africa, and like there's a million like books on like people getting water to Africa, like a million just books. Think about that. There's a million books of people getting water. Or there's stories of how they helped out villages. It's so many of these fucking things. And I'm watching fucking social media and TikTok. There's videos of people down there going like, why are you saying we don't have water? It turns on faucet. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? It's like so fucking funny. And it's like, I don't think that's the issue at all. I think it's just like, leave them the fuck alone, or like give them a hospital, or I don't fucking know.
I don't know why
Jesus Christ.
why people feel the need to give to a cause that's on the other side of the world. Like, there's plenty of causes right here.
Like, if it's a small thing we can do over there, like get them water. Yeah, I think that was an issue and we solved it, maybe, or whatever. Like charities, not we, just charities in general, has helped that issue. But I think that's an old issue at this point, because I haven't heard shit about let's get fucking water. And I'm like, what? They got water
for just 3 cents a day. You can have fresh water for these children.
Bullshit. Like, what is that? You know?
I remember those commercials. Like 3 cents a day, and this little man, he could have water.
He can have Thanksgiving every day.
Right? He could drink a whole water bottle a day.
You can sponsor this whole village for Gatorade.
Right?
That would be, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Gatorade flows through the faucets instead of water.
Yeah, like it was like
sick.
some kind of ad or something.
They would get electrolytes.
It's what plants crave.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Should I be watering my plants with Gatorade?
No, it's from Idiocracy. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that movie.
The Parable movie, I'd like to say, because it came out in like 2004 or some shit, and it's like literally basically predicted like half of this shit going on.
Movie.
It's so funny. It's like a guy gets like frozen because he's the most average human in the world, and he gets frozen for like 100 or so years, and it's basically like Mad Max futuristic world. Like everyone's an idiot. They're watering the plants with Gatorade. It's fucking hilarious.
That's
and they're
really
like,
funny.
you gotta water the plants with water, and they're like, water, like from out of the toilet or some shit like that. It was just like so silly of a movie, but like I think about that all the time, about how it's basically like that was basically Trump as a fucking, and like it's like that whole, it very leaves that taste in your mouth. You know?
Wonderful. I love that.
It's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, the world's ending.
World's ending, and we're making art.
And we're making art and sipping on water.
Yeah, and sipping on water and smoking all the good
some
stuff.
Weed.
Smoking the good stuff. If you watch the show, you know I'm fucking into that.
Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Show?
I don't. As I say in every episode, you know, I don't cut. I might not say it in every episode, or I say it after every episode, but I don't cut shit unless someone's like, "Here's some really out of pocket stuff that like I don't approve of."
Right. You're just like, sorry for the short break, folks. We'll be right back.
That was weird. The mic's cut out, and it's like a snippet of me in the future saying that, and then back to the podcast immediately.
Right. That's perfect. Has that happened?
Someone said something about like kicking someone out of a band, or like we got a new guitarist, so like because a friend moved or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like we didn't tell them yet, so like I could actually cut that out. I was like, I can cut that out. And I'm like, let's laugh really loud. And then we cut it in right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think that was the only time. I almost did it for the previous podcast because my buddy Antonio started saying some dumb shit at the end. I'm just like, great, dude. Did not want that on there, but you're saying it, and I'm not cutting it because it's not horrible. It's just weird.
Yeah, but being on a podcast is cool because like I kind of forget that I like eventually everyone will hear this.
Oh yeah. It's great because as soon as you stop thinking about the microphones or thinking like we're here, we're talking,
right?
And then it's just like
it's just a conversation.
Yeah, and you just fucking start going off. And you're like, no, like I'm feeling there's emotion in it.
No, I love it. I listen to podcasts. I was telling you earlier at work. I just like grooming my dogs and listening to the Manson family documentary in my ear, and I don't know. I just think it's funny. I was listening to something about lobotomies one day, and like,
Nice.
I don't know. I just like to give my coworkers random facts.
I'm like that with like Let's Plays now, where it's just like funny stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, cause like a lot of the times it's like I'm not even watching the Let's Play. I'm just listening to them fucking joke. And if they're
Right.
like, look at this fucking asshole, then I fucking like look
You
up at
look
the
up
screen.
and you're like, nah, that is funny.
Or if it was like a jump scare, I'd back it up to see what they got scared by or something.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
it's always fucking great to like hear like a impression out of nowhere, and he's like, oh, it's fucking
Yeah,
great.
I like podcasts a lot. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore unless it's like trash, awful TV
Oh,
or
yeah.
like cartoons because I, like we said, love animation. But
Have you seen I think you should leave, Tim Robinson?
I have, I think,
Yeah,
like a friend of mine is really into it and has always tried to get me to watch it. Like every time he would come over, he'd be like, "Have you seen this?" And I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
no, not yet. But whenever he would put it on, it was funny. I probably should watch it again.
First season's good, second season's upsetting.
Well, then maybe I won't watch it.
Well, first season's like god tier, I'd say.
Oh, really?
It's like so fucking good first season, which is why I'm upset that the second season is bad.
It's bad.
I don't know if I probably haven't talked about this yet, but like if anyone's seen I Think You Should Leave, season 2 is a big disappointment for Paul over here, because like I feel like he took the one, like it's all these like random sketch show skits, right?
Yeah.
And like randomly he'll just start, because it's like the whole joke is like random, and then he'll be like, no, random, and just like really start like driving in the point with like yelling and insanity. I feel like the whole season 2 is just yelling and insanity, and there was like no build up or joke to
Yeah,
it.
you gotta stick to at least like the build up. Build up's important. Everybody loves build up.
It feels like it was a bag of Skittles in the first season, and then it was just like all Reds in the next season. It's like, that's fine.
It's fine.
But I want the rest of the show.
I like all of the Skittles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big bummer.
Yeah.
Any like what other shows, like you watch like reality TV? I watched Below Deck and stuff.
Oh,
like
I watch
that.
like stupid reality TV. I literally watched 7 seasons of Dance Moms.
Oh my god. Those shows irritate me.
It's like it's like very obviously a scripted show where these moms want to be on TV and like their 12 or 13-year-old daughters are like, we just want to dance. And then this like lady yelling at them to like point their toes and straighten their legs. And I don't know, it's just like something that I like put on. Like I just like,
Kind of like Gordon Ramsay-ish, you know?
yeah, actually, Abby Lee is the female dance Gordon Ramsay, 100%.
Oh, yeah?
I've said it already out loud and like to someone else. But I don't know. I don't know why. I have watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay and his many reality shows like like Kitchen Nightmares or
Kitchen
whatever.
Nightmares,
That
that's
show's
the one.
intense
Oh,
and
yeah.
really good. So I don't know. I just like watch those because they don't mean anything. I fall asleep so easily watching movies. I can't watch movies anymore because I just pass out. TV shows, I'm always like drawing anyways. So like that's when I draw, is when I watch TV. And so I just like I'm not even looking at the screen, so it doesn't even matter what I'm watching. I haven't like come across, I watched Outer Banks, but that has a lot of hot guys in it.
Yeah.
So that's why I watched that.
Like anytime Katie's like, oh, we should watch this one show, and it's like either like about sex or like not having sex or like hotness or something like that, I'm like, no.
This isn't about sex or any of those things. It's like a cool like summer teenage like treasure hunt mystery, murder
cool.
mystery type of thing. There just happens to be hot people in it.
Oh, okay,
Like the cast is just all really good looking, and so I don't know. I watch it with my sister, and I'm like, look at that guy, he's hot, and like that's it, and it's great.
I've been watching a lot of Below Deck. Do you know that show?
Is it like a seas show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all these. It's like a super yachts
Yes.
crew, and it's about their
Oh.
crew. You know, so like they
Okay.
get different charters like every week, and like they have to
Okay.
like prepare. And there's like one chef, and there's like.
Maybe I should watch this. I need a
It's-
new show.
Oh, it's so good because like there are like hot people on, and like the guests are
Yeah.
hot, but like the main people Very average. I'm someone that was just like, I can't watch a show that's like super risque or like super like titties out or like there's fucking
can't
bikinis
either.
all the fucking time, because it's like, if I wanted to watch this, I'd put on porn or something.
Right.
I don't like. I'm
I
the
don't
same way
need-
with anime. Like, put them away. Like,
Anime
Jesus.
is crazy with the boobies.
I'm fucking sick of
They
it.
love the boobies, but like that's like such a kawaii thing. Like
All the
kawaii,
fan
like,
service bullshit.
You gotta watch. Well, there's. It's so
It's
hard.
like, it's like, do you want me to stop watching your show and go like, and then
That's
something
like
about the titties in my
classic
face
anime
now?
though. Like anime is all about those like nerdy boys that can't like that
that's
don't
who
get to touch
writes
big
it.
boobies,
'Cause
and
that's
so
just
they
who
draw them.
writes it.
And so they draw them, and that's how it goes. But like I don't know, Elfen Lied, I think is how it is.
but that's the only one where I did not give a
Amazing-
shit about boobs.
Amazing anime, so much booby.
There is. Oh,
It's such
my
a good show,
God,
though. It's
what
one of
a
the best. It's
show.
like gory and crazy, and then it's got boobs as well.
Like, it's so scary, gory, and just borderline depressing.
It's pretty depressing.
Like, just the most depressing
Even
shit.
the
You don't
intro.
even care boobs are a thing at all.
Even the
at end
intro,
of
like
it.
he like first starting, it's like, oh, it's like so sad, like you're in a dying cathedral, and you're like, what am I watching?
I play that on the piano anytime, like,
real?
it's just me in a room and it's an echoey piano. It's like, dun, dun, dun,
Yes,
dun,
I love
dun,
that.
dun, dun, dun.
Nee, 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 nee.
So,
yes, that's
there's
a
so many
great one.
fucked up parts
I'm so
in that
glad you
show
know that
didn't need
anime.
to exist.
I haven't seen it in a really long time, just because it's so intense, and like
Yeah.
anytime I try to sit down and watch it, I'm just like,
It's
do
kind
I
of a one
wanna
and
do-
done.
yeah,
It's a one
it's a one and done show. Like
Like, I can't, I can't watch, like, Sword Art Online. Have you
I haven't seen all of it. I think I fell off after like maybe 5 to 10 episodes. I stopped watching it.
I like cried and like fell in love with the first season.
Oh my gosh.
But then like the boss at the end of the first season was like rapey. He was like all touching up on. He was like, I got her, and it's like fucking groping her and shit.
No, and you're like, did
And
you
it's
have
like,
to do it this way?
This is so not fun to watch. Like,
Yeah.
just have her in like a crystal like Zelda or some shit where it's like, oh no, she's
yeah, you don't have
trapped.
to grab her. You
Like,
like use your magical powers. It's
like-
anime. You can do whatever you want.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like you're in a fucking video game and we're gonna go here right now.
yeah.
And like
that's-
someone told me season 2 just gets even more gropey, and like I was literally I got boba today and they were playing it in the fucking store.
Yes.
And I'm just like, is this season 2? And they're like, yeah. I'm just like, I'm glad I didn't watch
Yeah,
it.
I'm glad I didn't continue. I always end up watching the same animes over and over. I'm a huge Full Metal Alchemist stan.
yeah.
I watch Full Metal Brotherhood. I've seen
Yes.
it like
What do you like? So I love both very much.
I've only seen the other one once. I've only
Yeah,
seen
same.
it through once, and like.
I have Brotherhood on Blu-ray.
And then I like the regular Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. It's like Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
It goes from like he's like chuckling.
He's
It's
so
like,
happy. The difference is I think that they were making the show in line with the manga, and then
Yeah.
they got too far in the show, and so they like went off in their own direction, and then Brotherhood follows excuse me, the manga
To the
and
T.
to the T, and then so they follow that. So I always watch Brotherhood because
Yeah.
it follows that. But
it's like the OG, not Brotherhood, which is not really OG because it's not the manga.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just like an adaptation show.
yeah,
With a
it's-
movie.
it's still pretty good.
Which is cool. Like I like how you have to have a movie to finish it.
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, you gotta. It's a great
I should
full
probably
circle.
watch it. And then I love what's it called? Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
It's not really an
yeah.
anime, but that's like my jam, man. That
Mm-hmm.
show's so fucking good, dude.
Me and Tucker finally watched it all the way through
Yes.
this past year because I've seen it on
Mm-hmm.
Nickelodeon a million times, but like I wasn't like, oh, this is the next episode. I'm watching them all.
I watched it in order. When
Yeah,
it
we
came
finally
out.
watched it. Oh, when it came
When it
out.
came out, I
Oh,
remember like
damn.
seeing it after school, and I was like, I gotta finish my homework so I can watch Avatar.
Wow, I was only like that with like Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z is a good one. too,
But
though.
like then they would like loop it back. They would would get to a point that was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
and then
They did
30
that with
episodes.
with Rurouni Kenshin too. I remember like staying up late to watch Rurouni Kenshin. It's following the story. I'm all there, and then it's like on a cliffhanger, and like they're still squaring off because that's how old animes work. And then it's just like you said, like
Yeah.
way back, and you're like, no.
Yeah,
And then you have to like find a bootleg online.
Yeah.
Because it's 2009.
I literally like, but no, like for me, it was in the first Toonami went because like they didn't play Dragon Ball Z.
They
on
just played
fucking-
Dragon Ball.
on Adult Swim. It was on Toonami during the fucking day. Like I would come home
Oh my
and Dragon Ball
gosh.
Z would come on at 3 for
Yes.
2 hours, but before that it was like Batman, like
2
the real.
hours of Dragon Ball?
2 hours of Dragon Ball Z at least on a weekday.
What?
And on weekends, it was like marathons every fucking weekend.
Yo, that's sick.
It would be Gundam, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, and like Yu Yu
Bleach.
Hakusho. Yeah, it was
Yu
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 Yu Hakusho. It was
Hakusho.
always after it.
Those are great ones. Oh,
So fucking good.
Cartoon Network really had it in the bag.
Oh yeah.
Way back when.
They figured that shit out.
They knew.
They always had they had Adventure Time, Steven Universe, regular
Oh.
show, Chowder, you fucking name it.
Dude, all those Foster's Home. I'm actually doing a
Fosters, yeah.
remake of a Foster's Home house because I did like one of the questions. I like doing it on my Instagram where I just like ask stupid. They're not stupid. I like them. It's like questions like, what do you want your dream house to be? Or like, what do you like? What is like serenity to you? Just like, I don't know, just trying to get people engaged and asking questions that I like to answer. And someone put Foster's Home as their dream house. And I was like, oh my God. So I like started my own little digital drawing of Foster's Home because I love it. The show actually doesn't hold up. It's like not as entertaining as I remember it to be,
You can't
but
go back.
it's a really cool looking show.
I 100% believe like 9 out of 10 of the shows you watched growing up don't hold up at all. Like, because I did that in college because I found there's like videos on YouTube where it's like Courage the Cowardly Dog
Yes.
full show in one video.
And oh, they are really short. I was just trying to think of what I was watching Courage on. I think
Because
HBO
it would be
or something like that.
Because an actual episode's like, including credits, 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And so
That's how SpongeBob
Yeah,
is too. I
that's
was
how
watching
any show is,
SpongeBob,
yeah.
and I like to watch it before I go to work in the morning. I love SpongeBob in the morning. It just feels right.
right,
And
it definitely does.
it just feels right. And like I went through like 3 seasons really fast, and I'm talking like maybe like 30 minutes here and there, like every couple mornings of the week that I'm like not really paying attention to it. And it like went so fast, and it's because it's those 2 episodes and they're like 10 minutes each, and it's crazy. But Adventure Time is like that too because they have the short episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch a lot of I used to get the DVDs, and I would hear the creators' commentary. I love commentary on shows, and they said that they would they're like, it's such a funny time frame fitting a show into 10 minutes, and sometimes like they have the idea and they're like, we just need like 10 more seconds of something, so they'll just like animate Jake like rubbing Finn's face for an extra second, and he's like, what? And then they just like do that for an extra 5 seconds just to like fill in
That's
some
so
time.
fucking good.
And it's like just crazy stuff like that, like making such a short. And I don't know, they're geniuses, and I am inspired by all of them.
Oh, that's like Adventure Time definitely was a huge inspiration for me to make a universe about my music.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's so open-ended,
Right?
if that makes sense, because it felt like every episode there was a new like, oh well, then we'll go to the crystal area, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, the crystal area? I'm like, this looks like this game and this part in this
Yeah.
game, and this looks like the one album cover to Yes or whatever the fuck. And
Oh my
you're like,
god, you're right.
and all these weird like Fragile looks like fucking
It does.
Earth.
No, it does. It really does. Now that you mentioned that.
This was like so many, and like I think like what really made me love the show is because it did what I love in shows, is like they put stuff in the background and they don't say shit about it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that's the thing from that last episode. Or like, yeah, that's the guy from that last episode. Or like,
I
oh,
love
that's
that.
the glove he found in that other episode
or
that
even
we're
like,
pulling back.
It's like there's like a linear timeline in Adventure Time, and they'll like they'll show like an episode from like, I don't know. There's this one where they're doing they're about to, Finn and Jake are leaving, and then BMO does his like BMO investigates episode, but like Jake's got like this swirly thing on his face and Finn's missing a sock, and then like literally I want to say like at least either at the end of the season or even seasons later they reference that episode and Jake's got the swirly thing on his face and Finn's missing his sock, and I'm like, are you guys like geniuses?
Yeah,
like, like what's going on here? How'd you think of this like seasons and like, you know, there's like this crazy filing cabinet that they're like, I think we're going to pull this one out. Like
that's what made me love it, because like I feel like I want to do something like that where like every second you're like, that's that fucking thing. You know?
It just makes sense.
They did it so expertly, because I watched it from front to back and it was just such a oh fuck, and like they would have like the snail, like all the parts of like the snail.
It's in every episode.
Yeah,
He's in every
there's a
episode.
snail. Like that's so. I love that.
I do too.
That's the part that made me want to be like, I want to incorporate that, but like everything in
Easter
my music.
eggs. So that's like, it's just an Easter egg show. It's really
Pretty
crazy, and I love that about it. And I think Steven Universe does that too. But I haven't watched Steven Universe as closely as I just love Adventure Time.
I would say Steven Universe does not come close to the background stuff, but they do it here and there.
Yeah,
you know?
they do.
They just bring characters in and leave them in, which is another thing I really like a lot.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that's really, like, I don't know. I just think it's important.
Like any show, like Dragon Ball Z again, like they would do that a lot. They'd be like, oh, here's a villain, and then like 20 episods later, that villain's fighting with them.
He's back,
or he's back, or in some shit like that. Or like there was so many like holy fuck moments in that show that like no other show like took on, and I still look for that in shows that just like no one does some of the shit that DBZ does, even though art wise, terrible show.
Oh, like it's got its place, time and place.
I only say that because they have like 5 different artists throughout the show, and it's like obvious as fuck
that they've switched,
and it's almost gross at times. Like, if you watch the videos of people analyzing it, you're like, oh shit, that show did kind of suck.
You don't really realize it because it's like going so slowly, but then as soon as it goes from like one artist to the next artist, you're like, wait a minute.
They're like,
this guy looks deformed
they're
now.
like, look at Vegeta in the later seasons. Look how amazing they did his hair and his muscles. It's so defined. And then like, look at him like 4 seasons ago. He's like, it's like ridiculous looking.
Is that Vegeta on your shirt right now?
Yeah, actually.
Yes,
it is.
That's actually really sick.
I got this a while ago.
I like that shirt a
lot.
lot.
Prince, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Paul's wearing a Vegeta shirt.
Yeah, and he's posing.
The people that can't see, he looks really cool.
He's posing real cool, and it says "Proud Prince," and he's written like "Fresh Prince of Bel-Air."
Yeah, it's a pretty cool
you
shirt.
should go pick it up. I bought it online.
But another Easter egg is Miyazaki. He does Easter eggs in his movies, but they're so much subtler, I think, than some of the cartoons. And that's like another one that, like, not a TV show, but just another animated freaking genius
god tier art.
And that's what a lot of, especially with my digital art and my physical art too, but my digital art, I take Miyazaki and I just like really pull from that. I just think he like does it so loosely, like he like has like, you know, blocked colors, and then he just like really loosely is like, this is a tree. I don't know, it's really crazy. It's like a watercolor painting in some of the backgrounds. Like it's just so loose, but you know what it is, and I just think he's amazing, and I like I want to be him.
For sure.
I want to be him.
Miyazaki, who else could you say like a top 3 of like artists you were like, oh man, I wish I could be them, or like god tier, like, you know, at least on their level? I
would put Miyazaki up there if like number 1, if not like just like 1 of 3. It's really hard to pick. I feel like I can't think of them when someone asks me.
Oh yeah, of course.
I do love Pendleton Ward and Adventure Time, just like we were talking about.
All the wiggly arm people.
All the wiggly arm people. Although I don't know if it like correlates exactly to my style, but I just love the colors that he uses and
I see the colors,
the ideas of it. Like I just think it's
the mood. You share the same moods.
It's
for
special.
Sure.
There's a couple Instagram artists that I really like. There's one called Titsay. It's like Titsay. They're kind of big, but I really am inspired by their like landscapes. They do a lot of gouache paintings.
Paintings.
So someone got me a gouache paints for Christmas for me. I haven't broken them out yet, but I don't know how to use them.
What is that?
It's like somewhere in between watercolor and acrylic, I think. I think it's like a thicker watercolor, but watercolor is scary, so I have left them in their tubes for now. But
have you seen this guy, Mark Roger art? This guy's art?
Yeah, I have.
He is like super crazy.
Yo, that's sick.
It's like what would you consider like traditional? I guess
I have
no
idea.
fucking clue.
It looks, I don't know.
It's some like cowboy shit with aliens.
Yeah, I've seen some other stuff like it's like this is one that I remember where it's like a cowboy sleeping on the ground, like on his back, and then he's like projectiling up this like alien form.
Yeah,
very cool.
So crazy.
But yeah, there's like a lot of Instagram artists, but like I would say Miyazaki's a really big one. I just like. Can I like do a shout out to clouds? Clouds inspire me every day. I feel like I'm constantly taking pictures of clouds. I think that they're like the most sunsets and sunrises are the most amazing thing on the planet. And I've like thought about so many times just being like, what if I just recreated pictures of clouds that I took forever and only did clouds? Because I just think clouds are cool, man. Yeah. They look so awesome.
This is like I just am picturing like a cloud with headphones on, going like, and have like little blushes, like,
right? And he's like, oh, like he's like me. No way. Yeah. So I don't know, nature, and then those artists that I've mentioned, and then I don't know, stuff in everyday life really inspires me. My friends, music does a lot. Like I've always been visual in my brain, so like the lyrics that people say sometimes that are like, you know, have some sort of like visual.
Dare I say the lyrics paint a picture?
Oh, yes, they do. They really do, though, and it's like it's just something that I like to do. It's something I like to let my brain go and just that's why it's really hard to take on commissions, because it's someone else's visual idea and I'm recreating it. It's like so much pressure. I'm like, oh, is like my picture in my head the same as the picture that they have in their head? And they're asked, they can't draw, or, you know, they think they can't draw. I think everybody can draw, and art is very subjective.
Same thing with music. Yeah. You just got to buy the right thing.
Yeah. You just got to like, yeah, exactly. Just start drawing and like art is art. And, so that's like just a big pressure thing. I was like, you know, I think even we've worked on something and you're like, this is not what I imagined, but I love it. And I'm like, oh my God, like even that, I'm like, okay, you love it, but like, I can redo it if you want. Like, like if it's not what you thought it was going to be. And so, yeah. I
mean, like, I feel like it'll never be someone's exact thoughts. Yeah. And you have to like accept that. For sure.
It's a big thing to accept. It's hard.
It's crazy how like you share a similar feeling to like what a lot of audio producers go through of like, is this the way you want it? Like, yeah, you can just make everything crisp and clean, but then they're going to be like, oh, can you make that stand out more? Mm-hmm. Or something like that. There's always like a direction to it. Like, yeah, you could mathematically level everything perfectly and like be like, okay, the kick needs a little more and the solo comes out here. They'll still come at you with can this part, this part? And you're like, yeah, that's fine. And it's just, that is, I feel like a huge part of being, if you're going to go down that road, that's a lesson you have to learn and like be okay with people being like, no, do it like this.
Yeah, but then I don't know. There's so many artists out there that just sell their art, that like they make art and people buy it, and like,
and that's how I felt. Like there's people that just make music and put it out there. Fuck it, I'm done with this rat race.
That's kind of why I'm just like, I don't really, not that I don't need to take commissions, because I love working with my friend. Like, you know, you and I have a good relationship. Me and this other guy have a good relationship. Like, I like working with my friends. But when it gets to like Strange. I don't know. I've never taken a I mean, have I taken a stranger's commission? I guess maybe I
Really?
have.
Never. I mean, technically over the NFTs.
I guess, but that's not really commission. They're not like giving me
Yeah.
like
Yeah. That,
instructions. So that's why I've been like commissions closed because I just like I don't know. I can't even draw. It's not that I can't draw people. I'm just bad at drawing people. I think I'm bad. Like Georgie V had me do his album cover, and he is on the album cover, and I painted it, and I was like, George, I don't know how to draw people, but you got it, bro.
yeah.
It did turn out pretty well. I like that one, and George seemed happy with it. So, but George is George just thinks differently. Where he gave me, like a PDF, and he like had the color picked out on it, and then he had these 2 photos that he wanted me to just recreate them in my style, and then the lettering on the bottom, and like he was like, I want it to look exactly like this but in your style, and I was like, okay, can do.
Wonderful.
So
this is good to hear in case a stranger might want to reach out and be like, yo,
yeah, just make this.
Yeah.
I can do that. It's just and then working with that other guy that I was talking about that was really specific, that was a friend, his name's Zach. His Tiger's Bass. He makes bass music, and
cool.
we can tag him in this. And like even though he was really specific, and he it was just really interesting to work with someone like that. Like, you know, I could have, and he like had a deadline, so it wasn't even like I could drag my feet about it and be like, oh, like woe is me, I don't get to do what I want, but like, I don't know. It was just it's like just real different working with people and seeing how they communicate and like how they want things done, and just interpreting what they want for visually for their music is just way more difficult than I ever realized it would be.
Yeah, like definitely. Like I can't imagine when you're just like open to all styles. I feel like I'm doing like visual stuff for like vaporwave people, basically.
Yeah,
and
I've
that's
seen
easy.
it. I like it though. It's
Yeah.
so like chill and easy to like it's just like a chill like album cover for chill music.
Yeah, but like I've been doing like videos for like live sets and stuff now, and
Sick.
that's so easy because it's like you do anything 80s, you do anything retro futurism, you do anything that's like just, you know, layers with like that differentiate fucking color thing.
Yeah.
It's there, you know. I couldn't imagine someone hit me up for like an indie song and they're like, can you make a visualizer? It's like, what, you want flowers? What? I don't know what you want. It's like you're singing about a relationship. Like, Jesus Christ, how could I possibly make art to this?
Zach had me do this thing, and he was working with this guy who did more rap, and so he was like, I kind of want it to be like this urban feel, and the album title was called Cheap Thrills, and so I was thinking of like what a cheap thrill was, and even just like coming up with a basic idea, like cheap thrills, my mind either goes to like,
you know, like drugs
games or like drugs and prostitutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I make this not about like drugs and prostitutes?
You can make a bunch of prostitutes doing drugs playing Monopoly.
Yeah. Well, I came up with
like a lot harder to paint though.
That would be really actually, let's like idea ping ping ping. Like let's paint it.
As long as I can see that in real life, you
right?
can do whatever
like
you want.
They're all like smoking cigarettes around like a Monopoly game, and they're just like, I'm all out of 20s.
They're playing strip Monopoly or something
Playing
like that.
strip Monopoly. Love it.
Stripopoly.
But so I came up with the pinball machine, and I was working on this thing. I loved the pinball machine, and I like did like a little sketch, and I sent him a picture of the sketch, and I was like, this is kind of what I was thinking. And then I went from there, and I like built this really like kind of 80s 90s neon tube. It was like blue and purple, and he hits me back and he's like, I liked this sketch and how sketchy it feels, and let's change the colors and let's like change the theme. And I was like, okay, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. And so I don't know, like it was just so different, like having to like go from this like really like precise and like clean album that I did release that covered, and I changed it to Cyberstorm, I think, instead. But to change it from this like really like clean cut album cover to something that basically like I just like really fast like with my paintbrush tool, like painted it on, and I like didn't do solid fills or anything like that. I just like kind of like I was painting something. It was just really different, and it really like stretched my artistic brain to be like, okay, like he doesn't want what I originally had in mind. That's totally cool. Don't get butthurt about it. He likes your sketch. Like, you know, channel this sketch, like look at it, just paint like you would be sketching. Just do this is a loose sketch, so do a loose painting. And then, you know, it went from there, and I just like wouldn't have thought to make the album. And I love the album the second one that I made for him. I really do like it. It's like this desert vibe theme, and it's got like this road that goes from like the title screen, then the road continues down into the pinball machine, and cool. It's like all cracked, and it's still called Cheap Thrills, and like there's like a cliff where like a pinball would go up, and I put like little graffiti drawings on it. Like it was, I don't know, it looks cool. You
That's
just
sick.
look at it on Instagram, and I had a really good time making it, and I just wouldn't have thought to do any of that if he hadn't just been like, no, you know, I'm just like not really feeling this first vibe. I know you said urban, I said urban, and like you made this cityscape, but like I'm not really feeling it. And I was, you know, instead of being like throwing my hands up and being like, I'm not doing this, I spent X amount of time on this first painting and I just don't want to redo it. I just like put the pedal to the metal, redid it for him, and I was just as excited about it. And like that's kind of why I like working with people. It's really like pushes my brain. So I could draw flowers and you know, cottages and grass fields forever. I literally could do it forever. I love doing it. But it's when I start working with other people that have more ideas and better ideas that I'm just like, oh, like this is really stretching my brain. This is really getting me out of my comfort zone, and maybe I can make cooler stuff. I can do something more industrial like a pinball machine and not like, you know, a naturescape.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like I, you know, or like even this album cover that we made with the pyramid. I'm sorry, I forget the album name.
Deep Within the Pyramid Walls, actually.
Deep Within the Pyramid Walls, yeah. Like that one was really different for me. I was doing all my fields of flowers at the time, and I was just like, all right.
That is a fucking out of nowhere
pyramid.
Painting from you. Yeah.
Yeah, like pyramids, we got this, can do. And so that's why I like working with people, is they really just push me to do something new. And even though I like complain about it, I just like to complain.
Everyone
I
likes
just like to complain. So
I love complaining. It's
love
so
it.
great. That's
Feels
why I have a
good.
podcast, because I
That's why
slip
you-
in big pockets of me venting
Yeah.
in between, like people being like, "Yeah, I don't really like that." He's like, "You don't. Let me tell you something about that."
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
We were just talking about anime and how it has too much boobies. So
Yeah, like you saw.
That's
you
important.
guys all listen to that.
Yeah.
Unless you're skipping ahead like an insane person.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do
You
that.
can't do that. That defeats the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
You're missing.
You're a psychopath if you skip ahead.
I don't skip ahead in any podcasts.
Yeah. How could you do that?
You miss valid content.
You just-
quality content.
I would do it if it's like a guest I don't give a shit about. If it's like a guest
Then you
show,
just don't listen to that episode.
I guess so, yeah.
I like listening to all the different people that you have on here. Also because they're like my friends and
Yeah.
some of our friends at least. But there are some people that I don't know, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. I like hearing what like my friends are up to and what like these different bands around the city are up to, and it's feel cool. And I'm happy to be on it, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came on, and we had a great fucking episode. Where can people find your stuff?
People can find my stuff on Instagram. I am at Eat Frozen Yogurt. No caps, no spaces. That's about it. I do have my art available on OpenSea, my NFTs. You can purchase them there. And I think it's like OpenSea.io / Abigaze Sinpole. You could probably just search Abigaze Sinpole in the OpenSea in the
Yeah, like a
OpenSea
link
site.
tree in your
There's a
Instagram
link in my bio,
There
so
it
you can
is.
find it there. And that's really all I do make time-lapse TikToks as well.
Oh, cool.
So you can find a lot of time-lapse TikToks. And I actually released some, I've put down some art, some time-lapse that I don't even post on Instagram that are not finished, or
Ooh.
just like unworthy.
Some
And
TikTok exclusives.
yeah, there's TikTok exclusives. I have thought about making a Patreon, but
You should get a Ko-Fi or a Patreon or something where people can just be like, money. Here you go.
Someone just like $5. Thank
Buy
you.
some more supplies.
That would be cool. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok, AbigazeSinpole.art, Instagram, Eat Frozen Yogurt, and then I got the link for my NFTs in my bio, in my Instagram bio.
Wonderful.
And yeah, it's always a pleasure, Paul.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Yo, thanks for having me.
This shit. This was a great episode.
It was an awesome episode. I loved it.
Great.
I'll come back anytime, man.
Hell yeah. It was a long ass episode.
It
We
was.
definitely have a lot more to talk about too.
Yes, we do.
That's crazy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.